Masahiro Cho, Shinya Hashimoto, Keiji Muta, Takashi Iizuka, Scott Norton, Richie Hashley. And who do you decide to go and win the G1 Climax division? Why, only 48-year-old Antonio Inoki. And we know why they were in so much debt in our simulation video. Roll the credits. Hello there and welcome to episode 37 of From Then to Now, the TEW 2020 save, where we take the World Wrestling Federation from 1992 all the way up to the modern day. My name is Phantom TEW. If you are new around here, make sure you subscribe, because only half of you who watch this content are subscribed, and you know we can do better than that. But as for this episode, we have got 2 more episodes of Superstars before we get to SummerSlam at Wembley Stadium. We are very much on the road to Wembley. And this episode is our last episode in the US before we get to SummerSlam. We're in the UK, probably, I don't know where we'd be at that point. A lot of the places I know wrestling arenas in London weren't invented at this point. Obviously, Millennium Dome, the O2 was in the Millennium. The Copper Box was in 2012. I don't think the OVO was open until 2008, so we will try and find a place in maybe Crystal Palace, maybe there, but we'll try and find Royal Albert Hall as well. We've got places we can go to, but where are we going to go to? We'll find that will be next episode. We'll find out then. For this episode though, we are in Long Island, New York, the Nassau Coliseum. Should be a good show. If you do like this, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And let's get right into the show. And ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest today is a match which is Randy Savage's first singles match since WrestleMania, as he will take on recent WWF acquisition with part of the Super World of Sports merger to create War, Genichiro Tenryu. And that will be your opening match tonight. And it gets an 80 rating. 87 for Savage, 78 for Tenryu. Whew, great stuff. So you've got 14,000 people here. But Savage picks up the win by DQ. After The Undertaker runs in after 17 minutes, a long TV match. These two go back and forth. We want to present Tenryu as a top star because it's Tenryu. Whilst he's not got the American pop, he is still a phenomenal talent and so over in Japan. But The Undertaker runs in and chokeslams Randy Savage, hits a tombstone piledriver, and Tenryu, understandably, is pissed off. So he jumps The Undertaker. He jumps The Undertaker from behind. Undertaker patters out of the ring. Tenryu helps Savage up. They're both baby faces, so you know, there's no real animosity. It was just a little showcase match to warm up Savage. But Tenryu shouts out in Japanese at Undertaker, and Undertaker shouts back that he will face Tenryu next week. Gets a 100 rating. We set up Undertaker versus Genichiro Tenryu on Superstars next week. In the UK, actually. Where we get a clip from a Bob Backlund rally. One of his presidential rallies. In Long Island. And he gets cut off by Reza Lamon. He's coming out, and Bob Backlund first is like, oh great, because he's been trying to court the Latino vote, and now he's under the impression that Razor Ramon is coming out to help him. Now obviously every single person in this audience is a plant, because Bob Backlund is not actually running for president. So, it means we get to do a great spot. They're all going to be indie wrestlers in the front row. It'll be a little fun game of spot. In reality, I can imagine the forums will have a fun game of spot who you can see. But in the end, Razor Ramon hits a razor's edge off of the stage into the crowd of people at the Vackland Rally. Gets a 58 rating. Not too bad. We get a quick promo from Paul Ellering and the Road Warriors. Basically, they're discussing the Miracle Violence Collection. They know that the Violence Collection have a match today, but they have decided to head over to England early. They are going to be training with England's best. And next week, they are going to showcase England's best. They are going to have a tag team open challenge. Any team from the UK can come and fight them. The door is open. This is your chance to make a name for yourself. Gets a 58 rating. And here is the Miracle Violence Connections match. And it is the Violence Collection pick up the win quite quickly, 7 minutes, when Williams pins Bo Beverly with the backdrop driver. Gets a 71 rating, 86 for Williams, 74 for Terry Gordy. They have excellent chemistry, as we know. But this is just this is great ratings. Both Beverly brothers get 45. Not too bad. I mean, a 71, even if they lose, it should boost their pop. If we can just get one of them's recognisable, this feud with the Bushwhackers might not flop. And after the match, Repo Man comes out and attacks Shane Stevens, who was the referee of that last match. If I'd have actually clicked on that tab, I'd have shown you this, but Repo Man comes up and he just starts beating up Shane Stevens, who obviously isn't a wrestler. According to the game, he's a trained wrestler, but I don't think he had trained at all at this point. He's just a referee. But 59 rating as Repo Man beats down Shane Stevens. The entire locker room of agents runs out to try and stop this because, you know, it's a referee that they're protecting here. It's a 59 rating as Stevens is left laying on the floor. Yokozuna gets a quick squash victory against IRS. Goes 5 minutes 48. Big body slam. Bunside drop. 1, 2, 3. It's as simple as that. 57 for Yokozuna and a 56 for IRS. Gets a 52 overall. Fuji does some great work on ringside, but it's the post-match which is interesting. Because Hogan runs down the ramp. And he comes in and he is full of piss and vinegar, and he comes in and he gets into Yokozuna's face. Yokozuna shoves Hogan back into the ropes, who comes back and tries to hit a massive clothesline onto Yokozuna, who just takes it. Hogan tries again, runs to the ropes, does his little weird lean on the ropes, comes back for another clothesline. Doesn't work. Hogan just stands there. He gets firing up and he attempts to body slam Yokozuna, who just stands there staring at Hogan. Doesn't even move a muscle. Grabs Yokozuna by the Yokozuna grabs Hulk Hogan by the face, throws him into the ropes. He bounces back into a big body splash. Gets dragged into the corner, and just as he's about to be hit with a bunside drop, Owen Hart and Koko Beware come running down. They start going in, they start pounding on Yokozuna from the apron. Hogan manages to climb up, and with the assistance of Koko Beware and Owen Hart, they're able to lift up Yokozuna and hit him with a powerbomb. The three of them are needed to hit the powerbomb on Yokozuna. John Nord, Yoshinari Ogawa and Satoshi Kojima come running down to make the save. And that is a big angle. I enjoyed that. But yeah, so Hogan, Owen and Koko brawl with Kojima, Ogawa and Nord. For a bit, Yokozuna slowly gets back to his feet and joins in the attack, giving the numbers advantage to Fujigun. And in the end, Hogan, Hart and Beware make the sensible option to retreat to live to fight another day when they're outnumbered. Gets a 100 rating though. Great angle, bit of fun. We get a backstage promo with the Hart family, the first family. And the Mountie is despondent. Jimmy Hart does most of the talking, but the Mountie is just in the background, just sitting in his normal place. He just does not seem to care. Obviously, he's just gone for the IC title multiple times this year. And his charge at the IC title is done now. He's failed. He thought he had it multiple times. I think he had 3 singles matches with Brett, the triple threat at Saturday Night's Main Event, and a singles match with Shawn. So much. He's attempted so many times this year, but he's just not able to do it. And in the end, he failed. 73 rating. Like everyone else is, like the Nasty Boys and Carly are still fired up, but just the Mountie just does not have the energy in him. We get our tag team match in the Sergeant Slaughter's boot camp as Chris Kanyon and Jeff Jarrett defeat Glenn Jacobs and Scotty Riggs in a tag team match, meaning next week Jacobs and Riggs are going to be an elimination match. Riggs, the person who has knocked out 3 consecutive people in elimination matches, versus Jacobs, the person who until the scoreboard was taken out was leading the competition. But because of the score taking out and because of his pairing, because he won the last challenge, he was put with the weakest, and Riggs has dragged him down, and he's going to be in an elimination against the person who is the elimination master, it seems. When the pressure is on, Riggs is phenomenal. But so Gene Okerlund starts chatting to them about it, and Jacobs hits Riggs from behind. He attacks Scotty Riggs and starts shouting at him on the floor. You cost me. I'm going to cost you now. Gets a 91 rated. It's simple. It's a very simple segment, but it's poignant and it gives a big bit of actual character to some of these maggots. We're in the late stages now. These are the sort of guys who probably are looking at a bit more of a run after the tournament's over. You know, not all of these guys are going to go back to the winner, obviously, is going to get a match with Sergeant Slaughter at the following Saturday Night Main Event. Who do you reckon that's going to be? Gets a 91 rating, though. So, Cactus Jack defeats Jim Powers with the double arm DDT. It's just a quick squash match to continue Cactus Jack's dominant storyline. We get a contract signing here as Bret Hart and Ric Flair sign a contract for SummerSlam. Got Dusty Rhodes and Lex Luger as their 2 seconds. It is essentially just they get promo, so all 4 men use the mic in this. Bret talks about how he is IC champion for almost a year, and it is time for him to move up to show that he belongs in this world title picture. Ric Flair cuts his promo on Bret, talking about how, yeah, Bret, you got so much potential, but you're not the man. To be the man, you got to beat the man. And no matter what that title says, no matter who holds it, I am the man. Dusty Rhodes cuts the promo saying how Flair is living on his past glories, and even in those times, Dusty was his equal. Now, with Dusty, with the next greatest wrestler of all time by his side, Ric Flair doesn't stand a chance. Luger, bit more arrogant, talking about how, Dusty, you're a fat piece of shit. And that's all you are. It's Lex Luger's promo is quite simple. Gets a 90 rating though. All four men are good promos. It was going to be good. And then we jump straight into another sort of angle, as we find out that both the Bulldog and Michaels will have warm-up matches next week against faction mates. Bulldog will face Luger, and Shawn Michaels will face Jim Neidhart in the UK. And that's actually the end of the show. That's our main event angle. So the main event angle was the contract signing. This was basically just an announcement at the end of the night. The main event angle was the contract signing. But a 75 main event angle, well, technically this is the main event angle, gives us an 80 overall. It's one of our weaker shows we've done recently, but I'm not going to complain. This is very much a building block show. I don't want to give away too many big matches. Like, because they've been feuding for so while, like, we can't really do... There's not many Brett versus the Horseman matches we haven't done yet. Except for, well, the only one we haven't done yet is Flair, and I'm not giving that away on TV. I'm not giving away Dusty's debut on TV. I mean, Hogan and Fujigoon, there's not many matches left for that to do. Because this is sort of the culmination of storylines. Essentially, we are slowing down slightly to ensure that we don't run out of steam before we get to SummerSlam. But let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below, because that is always what's more important to me. I want to know what you guys think. What storylines you guys are enjoying. What storylines you aren't enjoying as much. What storylines you think are a little bit weaker, because there's always going to be ones. That this is wrestling. There's peaks and troughs with every company, even if it is the greatest booker of all time booking it. But let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.